Hi, this is Charlene O'Hanlon with DevOps.com, and I am here at DevOps World Jenkins World 2018, San Francisco, and having such a great time. With me is Mahesh Babu, who is the Director of Runtime Protection at Contrast Security. Mahesh, thank you for taking the time and talking with me today. Did I get it right?
Perfect.
Awesome. All right, great. So I don't know too much about Contrast Security, so I'm hoping that you can kind of tell me a little bit about the company first and how you guys are different from all the other security vendors that are out there.
Sure. So we make apps protect themselves. That's how we're unique. And the way we do that is we have two products. We help Contrast Assess, helps you find vulnerabilities as you build your app. And we just work in the background as you're writing code and as you're testing your code. And then as you push your apps into production, we help you defend against attacks, against those vulnerabilities and against zero days. That's what makes us unique, is we make the app protect itself.
So how do you do that? Is that like, are you using AI or using machine learning capabilities, or is it all about the code?
It's all about the code, and it's all about the running code. That's the interesting thing. We have a tiny little agent that we drop into your app. It stays with your app and goes where your app goes.
Okay.
So we see all the data that's going through the application. We see the code, whether it's code you've written or libraries or frameworks that you're using. And so we can tell real time, continuously, what's wrong with your application.
Interesting.
And because we're in the app, we see more information about the application. We can tell you more about it, so you can fix your problems faster, up to the line of code.
So how did you guys arrive at this particular methodology?
Yeah, good question. Our founders, Jeff Williams and Arshan Dabirsiagi, they've been at this since 2002. Jeff founded the OWASP Foundation, which is the Open Institute for Software Security, and wrote what was called the OWASP Top 10, which is the top 10 vulnerabilities that an app can have.
Yep.
And it's 2018, those haven't changed. It's still the same most of the top 10 is the same. And they spent a lot of their career up to 2014 hacking into voting machines, large government entities I can't name right here, large financial institutions, and they would do it by just looking at customers' code, doing code reviews, scanning code using static analysis tools, and it would take them weeks and weeks and weeks to find the same things over and over again. And they realized there has to be a better way. And that's how they came up with this approach, is why not hook into the application itself and let the application do all the work?
Right.
And pick up the low-hanging fruit and use your expensive security testers and pen testers for the more sophisticated stuff.
Makes sense.
That's why we're here.
Makes total sense. So your company is here, and there are a whole bunch of other security companies at the show, which I find really fascinating, because it seems like it's just been in the last year, maybe not even a year, that we've really heard a lot about adding security to DevOps, the whole DevSecOps movement. And you know, one of the questions that I keep coming back to is, why now? Why are we all of a sudden talking about security with DevOps? Do you think the market has matured to the point where we can introduce security into the DevOps tool chain without breaking it, or do you think that there's some other reason why it's all happening now?
The market's matured, but the most interesting thing is why it's matured now, which is, as a human race, we're building more software than ever before. And as a security industry, we're struggling to adapt. And so the risk is shifting to the software layer. Mm-hmm. And as an industry, we focused on, think about the big players, the Semantics and McAfee's of the world. They focus on the device, right, the network, mm-hmm, email. And but where do you spend most of your time? It's in your software. Where's your IP? It's your software. Mm-hmm. And so more software is being built faster than ever before, thanks to the vendors at this conference, using mostly other people's code, using libraries and frameworks that other people have built. We look at tens of thousands of applications every day. 79% of the average customer's application was built by somebody else.
Wow.
And that's what's made security so important and brought it to the surface. The second piece is software is not like the other layers of your technology stack. If you ask the average computer science student, networking is easy. You find it's easy to get a certification in networking,
Right.
and platforms are standardized. Software is hard. Understanding software security is understanding compiler stuff, which even developers don't understand. Developers write code, they don't know how it talks to the computer, how it's decompiled into assembly code, and how machines understand it. And that's what. So we don't have enough experts to tackle this problem, which is why every security vendor here is trying to approach this problem differently. And that's also why customers are coming to us, because their risk is shifting to the application layer. Every company out there has become a software company, and all their IP is shifting to software, so they need a way to protect that software at scale.
Certainly interesting times we're living in, that's for sure.
Yep.
So, Mahesh, thank you
West.
very much for taking the time and talking with me
Thank you,
today.
Shirley.
Appreciate it.